Hey friends, this is Eric, the mind control guy. I'll tell you what, here lately, with all the riots that have been going on for the last several years, it used to be when I was growing up back in the 70s, you really never heard about them. They've had them. They were few and far between. And then, of course, they had the ones in Miami back in 80, and then again, I think in 81. In Miami, they've had four riots within a decade. I think there was, but here within the last several years, every time you turn around, another city's burning. Well, earlier today, I was looking at images of America's cities after the riots, during the riots, pictures, and it reminds me of a poster that I saw back in the mid 1970s. So we're talking like 45 years ago. Today, they got all kinds of pictures that artistic people have made, whether they are paintings or if they're good with computer graphics and they've made images like the video game Fallout 3. But anyway, back in the mid 1970s, roughly 45 years ago, I was over at a friend's house and he had a poster on the wall. And we've all seen those pictures, those of us who are old enough and remember, where they had pictures of what they would refer to as the prehistoric caveman, standing there with in a sackcloth and a wooden club, and of course the hillside behind him. This particular poster, which I don't know who drew it, I don't know the name of it, I would love to be able to find it. But anyway, this particular one showed some guy like that, dressed basically in rags, and he was standing on a pile of rubble. Behind him was burned out buildings, just like we see today in Minnesota, Seattle, Portland, Baltimore, all over the country, unfortunately. And in his hand, instead of a wooden club, he had a metal pipe with an end fixture that curves, they call an elbow. Instead of a wooden club, he had that pipe. It was kind of like what they call today after the apocalypse. And seeing those pictures, and I only saw a handful of them today, of the aftermath of these riots, and of course pictures during the riots, of what America's cities are looking like today in 2001. That poster I saw roughly 45 years ago makes more sense today in 2021 than it did back then, which was about, I want to say, 1976, 1975, somewhere in that time frame that I saw this poster. I don't remember the exact year. All I know was in the mid 1970s. And that image of that after apocalypse caveman standing on a pile of rubble in a city left in ruins with a lead pipe in his hand or a metal pipe in his hand rather than a wooden club makes more sense today in 2021 than it did back then. Every time we turn around now, there's another riot. Just an excuse for people to go out and burn, pillage, kill, damage, anything they feel like doing. These after apocalypse images that are on the internet and different social media sites. Pinterest. I've seen a whole bunch of them on Pinterest just a little bit ago. And I would love to be able to find that one of the modern day caveman after the apocalypse holding the metal pipe. But some of these other ones are every bit as good. But standing on that pile of rubble with the city left in ruins, that could be in any big city today where they've rioted and left these places left in ruins. Seattle, Portland, Baltimore, Minneapolis, downtown Indianapolis, Los Angeles, Miami, Detroit, Chicago. Makes me wonder. Really makes me wonder. That wasn't fear mongering. People just saw the future. The future they saw is what we're living today. We are today living in the pre-apocalypse world. People think I'm joking. People think I'm making it up. Go look at it for yourself. Pinterest has a lot of after apocalypse images. And the internet. Different things are worded a little bit different, but the images are still the same. The apocalypse. Riots. It takes a long time and a very creative mind to build and construct and create. It doesn't take anything to destroy. And some of these movies that have been made over the years, like The Postman with Kevin Costner, After America, ones like the ones I've shown before, that miniseries, America, it was spelled with a K, with Chris Christopherson and a host of other folks, and all kinds of other movies and books that have been made and have been written. Amazon, on like Kindle, you can even find them in paperback, but a lot of them are going Kindle. There is all kinds of After America books that are being written by people just writing novels. And I've read some of them. And they seem more realistic today than they ever could have seemed 40 years ago, 45 years ago, 50 years ago. What we are living today, we're seeing it. We are living the pre-apocalypse of this country. By all these dirtbags going out every time they get upset about something, they want to go riot and burn down and this, that, and the other. Destroy everything in their path. And now, because of this verdict up in Minneapolis, police and law enforcement are resigning by the truckload. They're saying, we're done. You know what? Y'all just go kill each other. Y'all living in these damn ghettos that you created, you just go kill each other. We don't care anymore. The same day that verdict came down in the Derek Chauvin case involving criminal George Floyd, 5-time convicted felon, criminal George Floyd. Now they made a martyr out of him. That girl was almost stabbed to death in Columbus, Ohio. I already made a video about that. Yeah, I had that big old knife in flight. Oh, she was a 16-year-old girl. Mm-hmm. You couldn't tell she was 16 from the back, holding that knife in flight, and that's when she was shot. I'm sure the other girl was grateful that officer's aim was true and steady. I bet that little girl's family was glad that officer's aim was true and steady. But the ghetto crowd, the woke crowd, cancel culture crowd, the leftist crowd, the liberal crowd, oh no. The cop should have just let that girl stab the other girl. And then went in with lollipops and rainbows. We are living the pre-apocalypse today. April of 2021. Actually, today is April 22nd, 2021. We are living the pre-apocalypse. A lot of movies and books have been made and written about it. And a long time ago, it seemed like, that's just a bunch of scare talk. That'll never happen. And we're watching it happen today. Every day, it's something. So I hope you're all prepared for it. The intelligent people out there, I hope you prepped. I hope you have food and water, fuel, firepower. I sure as hell hope you ain't in the city. The welfare crowd that supports that crap, the ghetto crowd that supports that kind of stuff, y'all just go and perish in what you created. Those images are not futuristic, that'll never happen. No, they've already happened. Look on YouTube. You look on the internet. You look on Pinterest. You look at the riots, the aftermath of the riots. You look at cities left in ruins. And why are these so many of these cities left in ruins? Because they're upset that a criminal thug finally went down. Little girl dancing in her living room that was shot in a drive-by shooting, they could care less about that. Dad sitting with his kid in a drive-thru at a fast food joint who got his car full of bullet holes and his little youngster there died. Ghetto crowd and BLM, Antifa, they could care less. Lady sitting in her car with her daughter got filled up with holes, bullet holes by some chicken shit gang. The left could care less. When George Floyd and his boys did a home invasion and had that pistol up against that lady's belly, Hispanic lady, I believe, pregnant belly, they could care less about what George Floyd did. 5-time convicted felon. He never learned. All the ghetto crowd wants to do is celebrate thugs. Isn't that what gangster rap is all about? Celebrating thugs. What we're seeing now is just the beginning, again, what could be a long, hot summer. And a lot of the folks out there think like I do. All these thugs, these riders, these gangs, the only thing they're providing is going to be a target-rich environment. It's not a matter of getting out there anymore. We're going to have some protest or having screaming words back and forth or get into a fisticuff. No, people are just going to start shooting their ass. People are just going to start shooting their ass because they're fed up. Defund the police. The police are walking away. Urban warfare. Not the Crips and the Bloods and the gangs and all that bullshit. No, real urban warfare. We are seeing the beginning of the end of America. And Europe has been dealing with it too. And these third world rat holes, that's just everyday life. Disarm the good people and let the criminals have all the guns. The so-called authorities. Yeah. You know the rest. Anyway. Those who all they want is socialism. They want to sit on their ass and be freeloaders. Well, it's just like my shirt says. The problem with socialism is eventually you run out of other people's money. You're either going to survive or you're going to perish. But America is becoming a wasteland, and it's starting with the cities. And when it's all over, America will be a thing of the past. The American dream will be a thing of the past. There are going to be no more rules, no more laws. We always heard that term, survival of the fittest. That's what it's going to be. Anyway, my dinner awaits, so I got to get going. This is Eric the Mind Control Guy. I just wanted to put my 50 cents out there. Y'all check out those images. Check out those images of post-apocalypse. Whether they be drawings, paintings, or they be images of riots that actually did happen. I really feel for you young people. Until next time.